All right, guys. You guys want to blow up your back? Saw I blow my back up. You want a mass building back workout? Try this. You want bulging lats? You want Tyrannosaurus traps? You guys want lats like Dorian Yates with half the work and half fucking genetics? You want to figure out how to not work hard, get big? You want, this is the shortcut channel. There's a video here. We'll just go over it. Okay, you can come here. So Brett Contreras, Brett's been a critic of some of the stuff I've said. I'm not a big fan of hip thrusts and a lot of the stuff he preaches. Not that I'm not a fan of it, I just don't think it's the end all be all for glute development. And I think it's, for lack of a better term, a marketing fucking hack. Especially considering that the person that's pushing this idea of hip thrusts owns a fucking hip thrust machine like company. They make devices, right? So I understand that hip thrusts have their place. There's no question about that, but they're not the end all be all to leg development or glute development, I should say, right? So I just found this video interesting. It wasn't really a knock at him because he's kind of explaining what I have a lot of problems with. I see girls in here all day, and guys, but more so girls, because girls, you know, you're fucking guilty of it, doing step ups. Like, I'm talking insanely high step ups. So in this video here, it's showing how most girls do it. So this girl's doing an exaggerated deep step up when she should be doing what this girl's doing, which is ranging back, right? And he's basically saying, oh, science is showing now that like you recruit more leg development if you take a longer stride and you don't let your knee on the step up travel over your toe. Especially if you're trying to do step ups that are targeting glute. I'd want to be more in this position here of like reaching out here and then pushing up through here and then reaching back, stabilizing my hip, and then coming back up through here because I keep constant tension on my glute the whole time, which is true. Standing here and going like this is nothing. It's literally like working your quad. It's just you being able to step up on something. Which it found it funny to me that like you guys needed, not necessarily him, but like we need science to validate what's common fucking sense before we fucking like accept it to be true. That's common sense, guys. If you've ever played fucking sports or you've ever competed in anything athletic, you know that a lunge is never done in these weird ways that they do in the gym here where they're like, oh, I need you to like follow a line. You're gonna come around here. You're gonna come around here. You're gonna go very neutral spine, brace. Like, no, dude, like just fucking lunge. Like if I step out here and I'm long in my hip and I'm down. So I'm dead here. Now that I've fallen, I'm dead. I'm walking out of this hip, stepping up. So everything is me stepping out and being behind this front knee. Pressure's here. This is where I drive out of my lunge. I'm trying to drive up and out by pushing the floor down, long steps. If I do a lunge and I step out, this back leg, I should feel a stretch in my hip flexor. So if I'm stepping out here into this lunge here, I should feel a stretch in this hip flexor and rock out of this hip up. That's the idea, right? So when we do lunges, if you're trying to do them, girls, to accentuate your gluteus maximus, you need to do long lunges. Because you know what they do? And the reason why you guys are like, oh, I don't do legs because I don't want to engage my quads. It's like, yeah, well, the less your knee bends, the less quad you're gonna get. Remember that. So if I'm doing lunges where I'm getting massive knee over toe and I'm collapsing down into things, getting quad. If I'm long and I'm tall and I'm here, that's where I'm pushing out of, right? It's the same thing here. If I'm lunging off of this here and I'm here, where's my pressure? And then I drive up, boom. I reach back to where I was, I sit down, whatever, I drive up out of my glute. But it's just fascinating to me that, like I said, someone somewhere did a fucking experiment or some type of fucking like research paper to prove what we all already know. And now people would be like, now I can do step-ups that way, now that science told me. It's like, what else does science tell you? That fucking hip thrusts are bullshit? Because they are. Wait till that paper comes out. That's not backed up by someone who's paying for it. When real exercise scientists come out and be like, yes, when it's at the top of the contracted motion, there's a lot of muscle recruitment. There's a lot of contractile force of the hip going up. But on the way down, there's jack shit. And the way down is what we give a fuck about in bodybuilding. I don't care how hard I can squeeze something. I don't do all my bench press reps at half reps and go, and then go, right? So what makes you think that doing booty like that is gonna grow your booty? You're just mentally stimulated and you have a connection to the muscle because you're flexing it. The hip transfer is like literally, some girls sit on the ground again and then they fucking come up. But all that is them leaning back against, literally leaning back against the back pad and pushing their hip out. So it's a hip hinge. It's driving out of your hip, which is not your ass. I hate to break that to everybody. You guys don't understand. Your hip is not your ass. Your hip is a fucking joint with like 2 legs coming off of it. You know what I mean? And your spine comes down into it. It is a bony joint. It is not your ass. And also understand, guys and girls, the position of your pelvis will determine how well or what position you should be doing your workout in. So if I'm a person like me, where my butt is behind my shoulders, I'm more of this like kind of anterior tilted, like forward person. If I was this person, I'd have to do and I was in a line and I had shoulders set back and I had like, I'm straight up and down right into my quads, like straight down like that. I'm gonna have to do shit different. I might have to lean more on my lunge to get more strain in my glute because I don't have that natural tilt. I also might have to learn how to keep this arch in my lower back here on everything I do, be super tilted and be able to sit into squats, even sit into lunges a bit, whatever the fuck it is, doing this. So it's not like there's one blanket way for you girls and guys in some case to train your glutes. It depends heavily on how you're structured as an individual. Right? So the littlest shit for you could be, depending on your structure, could determine like how well you feel or well you develop your glutes. And it could be like partial ranges of motion, depending on how you're built. So doing these like massive step ups, you could like, there could be a girl out there who literally, or a guy out there who literally understands where their glute is right here and can literally just squeeze up through their glute because they understand where their glute is, right? Because they understand tension. So stop following these fucking dipshits on the internet who think that they know everything and have fake exercise science degrees. I don't even know if they're fake, but if you majored in like booty mechanics, last time I checked, they don't offer that at Stanford or fucking any reputable institution. So if you got it from like an online course from DeVry or the equivalent of DeVry for biomechanics, all the power to you. But all you guys and girls learn out there, ignore these motherfuckers. Watch people who really work out. Where's my phone?
Probably Photoshop that for you, the booty degree.
From DeVry?
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, holding it like this. I gotta put the phone down.